Well, hello and welcome. My name is Meredith Donahue, and I am the Marketing and Communications Director here at Habitat for Humanity of Horry County. This week, we are celebrating Habitat for Humanity's annual Women Build. Because of the current pandemic, and of course, this year is going to look a little bit different. So we're celebrating the leadership of women in our local community virtually. We'll be getting their perspective on affordable housing needs and issues impacting our neighborhoods throughout Horry County. Additionally, Habitat for Humanity International is currently working on a national level to raise awareness for housing affordability through their Cost of Home campaign. The campaign aims to improve housing affordability by influencing policies and systems that will improve and promote supply and preservation, access to credit, land use, and communities of opportunity. At Habitat for Humanity of Horry County, we work daily to help address the need for affordable housing in our local community. We can't do this without the support of our local leaders. So we're pleased to have with us today three women who are leading the city of Myrtle Beach into a better future. So joining us today are Amber Campbell. She is the Research and Development Analyst with the city of Myrtle Beach. Miss Cookie Goings, who is the Neighborhood Services Director at the city of Myrtle Beach. And Miss Megan Michael. She is our Neighborhood Revitalization Director here at Habitat for Humanity. So we're going to start with Amber. Amber, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and your current role there at the city?
Sure. Good morning. As you said, my name is Amber, but I'm actually a newlywed, so I'm Amber Campbell Moore. And thank you. As of December, I am now a hyphenated. But my current role here at the city of Myrtle Beach as the Research and Development Analyst spreads a number of things, but in regards to workforce housing, I'm helping to head up the initiative to bring more housing to the area. We love to say that we live and work where people vacation, but we need to be able to have more housing stock where people vacation so we can truly live a good life in a way that we are all enjoying it to the best of the abilities that we can.
Great. So recently, Habitat and the city agreed to work together to implement a new workforce housing initiative. So Amber, how will this initiative benefit those who qualify for the program, and how will it address housing needs within the city?
Sure. Well, the Workforce Housing Initiative will help us to actually put the real numbers to the crisis that we know is happening. So we'll be able to dive deeper into what are the actual needs, where are the residents located that we need to provide for more assistance, and how can we do it in a way that not only benefits our residents, but the community as a whole. So we want to make sure that we're putting the right cost in the right area at the right prices.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Amber. Cookie, tell us a little bit about you and what you do and your background and everything you do in the city of Myrtle Beach. Everyone knows you, of course, so tell us a little bit about you.
I was going to say only a little bit. I'm the oldest among these four, so
most experienced,
the veteran of the group. But I am Cookie Canty Goings, and I do pride myself on being able to say that I'm a true native of Myrtle Beach, born and bred, except when I went away just maybe 200 miles to be educated. I am a retired school counselor, director of counseling at Myrtle Beach High School with Horry County Schools, where I served for 30 years. I retired Monday night, July 31st at 8:03 p.m. and I arrived here at City Hall the next morning, Tuesday, August 1st at 11 o'clock after I presented a scholarship and have been serving as Director of Neighborhood Services with the city.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about how you are helping to address the need for affordable housing and stable living environments through your daily work at the city.
Okay. Well, as the Director of Neighborhood Services, but just our department as a whole, our responsibility is to take care of the needs of the individual neighborhoods and the residents as we are asked to. We have to be invited to come to their meetings or come to their neighborhoods or their homes, and they share their issues, their concerns. Then we are the liaisons. I like to say in lay terms, We are the guidance counselors, the social workers, the liaisons, the face of the city of Myrtle Beach when it comes to helping to address the needs of our residents. It is not our desire, it is not our goal, it is not our intent to change anything. We are responsible for enhancing the quality of life for every resident, for every neighborhood. And so with that being said, when I arrived almost 4 years ago, the CDBG funds were used for housing rehab. And that seemed to be a very popular but a very needed program within the neighborhood. Neighborhood services is, while we are responsible for all neighborhoods, the LMIs, the low to moderate income neighborhoods, are our focus. But in the housing rehab area, we would go out and assist the residents who express interest, help them with the paperwork, the application to determine eligibility, walk them through that entire process from beginning to end. And so those residents who were eligible, some of them may have been just moderate issues and things that needed to be taken care of, as well as, and then from moderate to maybe a little more extensive. But in the last year and a half, those CDBG funds were redirected to infrastructure to take care of the needs in some of our neighborhoods that have had issues for a very long time. And so for the last year and a half, we haven't had access to the housing rehab fund. So what I do on a daily basis is outreach to those residents who have housing issues, and many of them are older homes. And so these are now second and third generation who are living in family homes. So what I do on a daily basis is to stay connected with you guys, because now you have more current programs where we don't have access to funding to help them with those issues. I connect with you all, as well as a couple of church groups with whom we connect to see if there are ever any projects or funding that is available to help these residents, because they are not going to move away. They're not going to abandon or sell their homes or properties. This is very dear to them, and like I said, it's second and third generation. So it's our responsibility to assist them in trying to locate any type funding, as well as maybe small loans. I have established a pretty good working relationship with some of our local bankers. So we're looking forward to the day when housing rehab will be reassigned to neighborhood services, and in addition to the money that has been allocated over the last few years, that there will be additional monies available to assist these residents with maintaining their home and enhancing their quality of life.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Cookie. And I know that you are working very closely with Megan, who is our Neighborhood Revitalization Director. So Megan is a little bit newer to our organization. She is heading up a brand new program for us, which is Neighborhood Revitalization. So Megan, tell us a little bit about yourself and what we can expect in the coming months from what you're going to be doing in your work.
Yeah, so the Neighborhood Revitalization Program is a program that essentially expands Habitat's product, what we're able to offer to our community, from just building homes to building communities of hope. And how the Neighborhood Revitalization Program works is that our initiative is resident-led and asset-based community development, which means we go into neighborhoods where we would like to partner, and we engage with resident leaders and ask and listen to what their concerns, what their ideas, what their ambitions, and what their gifts are. We look for what's strong before addressing what's wrong. So everything that we do is resident led. And, similar to how Cookie explained neighborhood services, we, we basically get invited into partnership with communities. So that's a little bit about how the Neighborhood Revitalization Program works. Me personally, I just stepped into this role about 4 months ago. I have been living in the downtown Myrtle Beach area for the better part of 4 years. About 2.5 years ago, I jumped into the Affordable Housing Challenge as a co-creator of affordable housing. Of course, I'm very excited to be a part of Habitat and their goals. So a big part of my story is also that I am a very grateful recipient of guidance and mentorship from both of these other women on the screen. I have been spending a lot of time in their offices for the better part of 2.5 years, asking questions of both the neighborhood services team and the research and development team. They've been incredible friends, incredible confidants, encouragers, collaborators. And so to both you, Cookie and Amber, to both of you, thank you so much for your work, for your constant co-creation with the rest of the community, and for all that you do. I know I say this all the time, but we've got a really great team, and I'm so excited to see where we go together with all these big ideas.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Megan, a part of your role too, and all of our role here at Habitat, is to help change policy and help make things better. So a part of Habitat International's current federal call to action is asking Congress to support the Neighborhood Homes Investment Act. So this is a top federal policy priority for Cost of Home campaign through Habitat International and a key tool for COVID-19 economic recovery. The NHIA will revitalize distressed neighborhoods by using federal income tax credits to bridge the gap between the cost of building or renovating homes and the price at which they can be sold, thus making renovation and new construction of affordable homes possible. From a local perspective, how would the NHIA affect our local efforts, especially with the launch of Habitats in our program coming up in the next few months?
Yeah, so the NHIA would give us the opportunity to engage in much more rehab than we're capable of doing financially at this point. So the challenge with rehab is specifically in dilapidated, empty structures, is that it's far more expensive to fix them up than it would be just to build a new home. So the cost of build is actually much less than the cost of rehab. But we know that preserving what's already existing in our neighborhoods is so important to the preservation of our history, to the preservation of our stories, our vitality, and to the aesthetic of the neighborhood. And so we know that this is important, not just from research nationwide, but also from talking to our residents on the street level. We know that this is very important. And so the NHIA would essentially give us the opportunity to bridge the gap in cost so that when we are, for quote unquote, flipping a home, we aren't making it too expensive for somebody in the neighborhood to be able to move in and own and have an equitable stake in the neighborhood. And when I say move in, I mean move from a rental in their own neighborhood to a home that they own in their own neighborhood. So they don't have to leave. There's no transitional factor in that exchange. And so it would bring us a great deal of opportunity to be able to engage in that work.
Wonderful. So right now you have been so busy, and tell us a little bit about where we are in the launch of our program and what we can see coming up in the next few months.
I've been busy keeping Cookie busy. I called her almost every day. So when she picks up, she's like, okay, let's go through our list. But what to expect really from the next few months and the rest of 2021 for the Neighborhood Revitalization Program is that we're currently still in the neighborhood selection process. So we have narrowed it down to a small number of neighborhoods in downtown Myrtle Beach, in the downtown Myrtle Beach area. And we are engaging with resident leaders. So we're keeping track of the ideas, the aspirations, the dreams of our resident leaders, and also their willingness to partner and commit to being on a coalition. What this coalition will look like in the next few months, it will form, and it will be majority residents. And the other seats at the table will be sector, basically industry sector leaders who impact the quality of life of the neighborhood. So our quality of life is broken into 7 sectors. That's education, economic opportunity, health, housing, transportation, safety, and let me check my notes. And amenities. It's hard to remember 7. I've only been doing that 4 months, okay? I'll get it.
Pretty good though, that was pretty good.
So when we think of things like in the sector of education, we want to make sure that a representative of Horry County Schools, of Coastal Carolina University, of HBTC are there in the room in a seat of listening. And so the coalition will be the residents around the table, the institutions will be around the room outside of the table listening to the conversation and inserting themselves in opportunities to partner. And so that coalition, it will be forming in the next few months. What you'll see from us in the next few months as the weather warms up and vaccines become more available, you can expect to see us out in our focus neighborhood after it's announced, connecting with residents, listening to the ideas, creating quick win opportunities for neighbors to come out and uplift each other. So you won't just see the Habitat and our team out in the neighborhood. Residents will see their neighbors out there doing the work with us, inviting their neighbors to come out and be a part of these quick win opportunities to get involved in some collective action. More tangibly, what you'll see from us this spring is we have received a grant for a community garden from the USDA. So we are so excited to be able to launch that within the next couple of months. And we've got a little groundwork to lay, no pun intended, but we've got that coming down the pipeline.
So exciting. And I am personally very excited about all the work that all of you are doing. You are amazing leaders for the community. So how can women, and this is a question for all of you, how can women take a leadership role in affordable housing here in Horry County?
I'm not sure what the stats are. The two of you would know more, but my mother was a member of the first organized Habitat for Humanity within Myrtle Beach, and she was the chair of the Family Selection Committee. And of course, I didn't understand it all then, but I knew a little bit about Habitat, and now that in my life's work, I understand it so much more, how heavily involved she was, and this was years and years ago. But it seems to me like the families that I know of personally who have been blessed are the recipients of a Habitat home are mostly headed by women. And so I think the role has already been assumed, and it has been assumed long ago, that because women, we are the nurturers, we are the caregivers, we may be, full-time professional women, or there's some full-time moms, wives, we just always been and have always assumed these roles. And so we are the center and the heartbeat of the home. And so as far as our roles are concerned, I think it's just becoming more and more of an assumed or an assigned responsibility that we understand the importance of home. We understand how wonderful it is to attain a piece of that pie or reach one of the American dreams of home ownership. And so I think we collectively want to spread that. And I just learned from Megan that I didn't realize that it wasn't just, moms or single moms or whatever who are eligible, for these homes. I didn't know that couples could qualify and become eligible. So it's been a win-win situation. Yeah, she does call me every other day, but that's good. And we do have a list. But what I've been able to learn from her, so now that I can be an ambassador and share this information with, couples and single men, and I mean, just to really become, like I said, an ambassador and get on this campaign of awareness. And I think that for me, I think that's how I can couple my role as director of neighborhood services, because we're serving the same people. And people don't always know, like I didn't know, who's eligible in some of the services and amenities that they're entitled to or eligible for. And so it's about bringing awareness in a lot of areas within what neighborhood services offers on a daily basis, but to partner with Habitat and then having served with Amber and learning from her with this workforce development. So I mean, the federal stuff is just can be a monster, and just trying to understand the basics. But having been a part of that with her serving as leader, and it's just all about learning. But I also think it's important as we try to diversify and make sure that we are including everybody and that everyone has a seat at the table, and that those whose voices need to be heard, that we encourage and empower them to be able to do so.
Well, how can, Megan and Amber, how can we empower our families within our neighborhoods to help them build a better future for themselves? What are different ways that we are, beyond what we're already doing, that we can help them to become empowered to make their future better?
Well, I'm going to piggyback on some of what Ms. Cookie said, in that we need to be assertive in our quest for information, right? So partnering with local organizations that are doing the work. So, so much information is just a quick Google search away. So, you can literally get on there and search neighborhood revitalization or affordable housing, Myrtle Beach, or whatever the case may be. And so many sources of information will come up. And I think we just truly need to encourage each other and empower each other to seek that information for ourselves. And when you don't understand something, don't be afraid to approach someone who might be more knowledgeable, or who can point you in the direction of the person who is the expert in that, field of study or whatever the case may be. But be assertive in your own hunger for what you need for your resources. There is a lot of opportunities out there. And so we just need to encourage people to come and be an active participant. Come and be part of the change, be part of the growth. Come to the city council meetings and be part of the discussion where the decisions are being made. Oftentimes we hear about things third hand or after the decision's been made, and you have no power then. But if you're on the front end and you understand what's going on and you see it forming, then you have the power to change if you need to. So be an active participant and really be assertive in what you want to see forming in your neighborhood.
Well, Megan, I will let you close us out and share with us any final words of wisdom that you might have for us.
Yeah, that is all really wonderful advice. I love it. I just love being in a room with you guys.
And we love having you. Come always invited.
Anytime. So I was trying to think of okay, what is the one thing that women can do to be a part, to take a leadership role in this affordable housing challenge. And what I want to speak to specifically is to the regular residents of the city of Myrtle Beach who maybe affordable housing, they know it's an issue, but they don't know anyone personally that struggles with affordable housing, or they just aren't close enough to it to fully understand it. And so I was one of these people at one point, and so I really want to speak to that. I think that the bottom line is, if you have a passion for affordable housing and you're still watching this recording, it means you probably do. That if you've ever had enough resources to be able to consider buying a rental property or a second home or any property that's not your primary residence, then you have the resources to get into this game. You have the resources to be a part of co-creating the solution to our affordable housing challenge. And if that's you, I really, really want to encourage you to reach out to neighborhood services, to neighborhood revitalization, to the research and development team. We have listicles on listicles of financial models and investment creative partnership models of ways to partner in this work. And just like Cookie said, everyone having a seat at the table and knowing their place in that would be such a wonderful solution. And my advice to those people, just because I've lived this, is that my advice to those people who are getting involved for the first time, who are saying, I want to be a part of the solution, would be to find the people that struggle with affordable housing personally and listen to them for a very long time. Listen as long as you possibly can. Be a student of neighborhoods that struggle with dignified, safe, affordable housing. Just be a very good student of these neighborhoods, because we have a lot to learn from them. It's what I did. It changed my life, and I am 100% in. I am fully in. And I really do believe when it comes to empowering women to do better for their families, we can empower women by putting our resources behind them. When women have resources behind them, they can change the world. And so that, and family-wide, house-wide financial literacy, that's going to change the world. It really is.
Well, thank you so much, each of you, for joining us today and sharing the amazing work that you're doing here in the community to help local families build a better future. We hope you'll come back soon and give us another update and on all the impact that you're making here in Horry County. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.